So now you choose you want to focus. You want to focus on attack, magic, blah blah blah, whatever. And these are the training trials you go through, and will present you with a challenge based on the specific ability that you want to train, which will be an enemy that will provoke you with the challenge of how will you utilize your attack to beat this opponent? How will you utilize your defense? How long can you survive with your defense against this enemy? These specific type of challenges based on what you want to focus your training. So we'll do focus defense. So we get a special item for this training challenge. And you see the potential gears working. And those are boosting like events in the background that determine the item that you will get, or the reward that you will get from completing. That you only get from completing the challenge. And you go to the light, and now you're presented with your training enemy. If you win, you get the rewards of your training. And they're all different enemies. So I don't exactly have what I need to win, because I didn't give them any stats. So I'm gonna force to win. And we're going to see if we actually get a level from this. So I didn't get a level from it. So there's a chance that you get no level, there's a chance that you get one level, there's a chance you get a bonus level. So we'll try it again. So this is the new, if I can figure out where I put it. It's right here. Alright. So we're gonna actually force another encounter. Gonna force the win and see if we get the same results or if we get different results. We got a different item, a different gear, and we're gonna do defense again. Oops, get out of that. Random encounter. So I'll probably get another gear booster from this to mess with the randomizers, quote unquote. I'm sure there's like some sort of math magician out there that could just pick apart what I'm doing and say, well, I know exactly how to get this and that and that. It's not perfect, but it at least changes things. Not everything's set in stone. So there's that. Just to try to create a variable, to create a different experience each time you play it. So you want to always get the same items, you want to always get the same rewards, and you can choose how you want to focus on your play style, your build. And you have two different characters, you have two different styles of play, so that's the main thing I was getting across, that there's a lot of replayability for it. And this is all just part of one chapter. I'm working on another chapter that's probably going to be bigger or the same size. So I got a +1. And wait, I guess I accidentally put the +1 in strength because it didn't go to defense. So that's an error I have to correct. So let's correct that. So let's do some building. Battlegrounds. This was really kind of a hassle to get through because I messed up a couple of times, and when you mess up, you have to start from scratch, and there's like so many different factors in it. So I have specific gears. I think it was defense I used. So let's see. So that's the 0. That's +1. Okay, that's defense. One of them said strength, so we're gonna have to find the one that has the wrong label on it. Alright. And this is the hassle of trying to make this. One of these, I don't know if it's going to be here or if it's somewhere else in the actual event that proposed the battle that had the wrong event playing. But you know, we're gonna have to, if it's not here, then I must have placed the wrong event, you know, for the situation. Alright, so I think that was, no, this is the last one. Okay, so it must be that I placed the wrong event down on the actual, whatchamacallit? So let's see if we can find it, choose event. Focus attack, focus magic, focus defense. And I put the mode on 4. Let's see what mode 4 is on the light. So this is light event. What's mode 4? Mode 4 is playing defense. No, that's the enemy if you win. Hold on. Something is going on here. Something is going on that shouldn't have went on. Wait a minute. This is what happened. Yep, this is it right here. It's displaying the strength gear when it shouldn't be doing that. It should be displaying the defense gear. Aha. Alright, so other villains might be like that as well. And this is the... I'm assuming for magic defense. So it's playing the wrong thing. So that's defense, and this should be magic. And it's also showing the strength gear. So play the magic event. Okay. And of course you have the strength training affecting the strength gear. So now it should be working. Hopefully. You know, it's a very messy process. Very messy process. Alright, so we're going to try it again. We're going to load up so we don't have to go through the intro again. Again and again. Then I'm going to show you the new chapter that I was working on. And you're going to... You might be impressed. Or you might not. You might be like, man, introverted owl. My grandma makes better inventions than you on a Thursday. And I'll be like, show me the pudding, asshole. You better show me some proof talking some trash like that. You know how many freaking hours I put into trying to make this the most viable field imaginable with all the glitches in this game? And it really is a long, stressful process. But it's worth it. Okay, so we're going to... I don't know why I'm poisoned, but whatever. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to force defense. And of course, I actually have a character who has stats this time around. Alright. And we're gonna force an encounter so we can get the bonus gear. Sorry if I do a lot of smacking into the mic, I can't help it. It's like my microphone doesn't pick up if I'm too far away, but if I'm too close then you're hearing too much noise, and you can never really win. So I'm just trying to make sure that it's audible and clear, but I also try to make sure that it doesn't like sound too creepy. Potential +4. Alright, nice. So we're actually trying to do this on our own without trying to cheat. Because I'm not sure if I actually balanced it out as well as I could. I try to pride myself on balancing. Even though I make this like a very open-ended combat adventure with variable stats and blah blah blah, branching abilities that you can take it with, and characters. It's relatively balanced all the way across. All the enemies are balanced. They have a way to damage you, whether you choose this or that. You're relatively balanced. You have a way to damage them and to win under any situation, basically. So I try to create that element of balance all the way across while making it a survival game at the same time. So that's my effort at that. If you could just, see what you think about that. So these special items you get. Oh yeah, I forgot. Another glitch, because you're not supposed to have a party member in here. When you have too much items, the new item you get goes to your next party member who has available inventory. My partner is, on the floor face down, so I can't get items from her. The ability item for this specific training regime was supposed to be handed to me, but my inventory is full, so it went to my teammate, but my teammate is down, so I can't use it. So that's the situation we're looking at here. So I'm just going to force the win, and I'm going to have to make sure that teammates aren't allowed in this area. That was my initial plan, but I didn't get to it yet. Okay, so we have another situation here where the gear did not go off. There it goes. And there it goes again and again and again and again. So here's another issue. So this is the problem you run into by trying to do stuff like this. Sometimes you try to get an event to work, it doesn't work, so you mess around with it, and when you get it to work, it works too much and it doesn't shut off. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Actually, it won't be too much of a pain. All I have to do is go here, and if I take a look at the situation. See, when the event turns on, it turns on itself on automatically, and it plays an event. If you leave that event on automatically, it will just keep playing over and over and over again, and it will never shut off, and it will create a endless loop. So within the gear itself, or somewhere along on this map, I have it shut itself off. But since I had the gears mixed up and I have to switch them around, something within that is not shutting itself off. So we'll look at the one that is working, which is this one, the strength gear. It plays, so this isn't shutting itself off. There's something else that I have in place that shuts it off. I have to find what that is. Is it the light? I'm not sure. I try to do all these things in the first day so I don't get confused later on, because that's, complicates things. It's not the light that sets it off. So if it's not the light, and it's not the gear, is it this event? The choose event? No, it's not here. I'm gonna have to find it because that's really in the way. There's something in here that's setting off the event because one of them works. One of them works for sure. We have proof of it working because we just did it not too long ago. And it shut itself off. It didn't continuously loop. These don't affect anything relating to that. The train might. Maybe this is it. Okay, so this is like the randomizer thing. It's affecting the events. Okay, so this is turning the events off, but that doesn't explain how they turn themselves on. Because what happens is you randomize the gear, then that event plays, and it randomizes it, adds like an event number to it, and then it sets the event off because the events are automatically, if you leave them on automatically, it won't set off. So it turns them on for a moment and then randomizes them, then it sets them back off. I need to find what sets them off after they're turned on after you win the fight, because that's like what's causing the problem. It's not that. It's not that. RNG Gear 1, what's this? No, it's not that. I don't think it's that. Let's take a look. No, that ain't it. Ay, 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 ay. So yeah, nothing else has really happened this week. It's been an ordinary week. Just, whatever stuff. What's happening with the strength gear? Why is it... Wait a minute. I know what's happening here. I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening. There's no thing that turns it off. The reason why it's turning itself off is because I have a treasure that activates it. Training pass right here. That's the off button on all of the gears. That is what's turning them off. And I believe you lose that. Yeah, it says to lose. So, we're gonna check the defense gear one more time. And we have the training gear that activates it right there. And I have it to obtain the treasure item instead of losing it. Ay, ay, ay. So that's the bug. I did it again. Oops. Whoops. One thing that is very much of a hindrance in this game is that an event item or events period you can't just copy and paste. You have to go through. Okay, I have some of them right. This is lose. You lose the treasure. Lose the treasure. Lose. Lose. So what must have happened here is that I was just going through it through all 20 of these events for like the 4 different stats. So it was like 60 or 80 events that I had to go through it, and I just got tired of it, and I started calculating the amount of presses of the buttons I had to do, and I just started mindlessly clicking. So a few of them may have accidentally gotten the wrong message. So lose treasure. So lose. It's another lose. That's right. And that's right. So now that should be working. Although there may be some others that have the same issue. So we're going to try it one more time, and then we're going to end off. Gonna try one more time. One more time. One more time. Alright, go to the battlefield. Oh, and I have to show off the other stuff. I have to show off the other stuff. I have to show it off. Alright, so it should be working. I'm just gonna give me like a random get out of there. I'm just gonna give myself the treasure item. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna go through it. It's probably gonna give me a 0 without the booster. We'll see. We'll see how much it works. But we're gonna force the win. Look at that skill. Let's doing a lot of hiccuping. Alright. For some reason the first thing that activates isn't always it doesn't always show up. So you have to go into the menu and go back out or refresh the page for it to show up. Alright, so it worked that time. So now that we have it working, let's try to do it for real. We're gonna sort the party situation so we can get the proper items, and we're gonna do it for real. So yeah, we problem solved something. Hooray! Alright, so we're gonna get rid of a lot of stuff. Get over there. Get over there. Right. Get rid of it. Alright. And you see, he has all the stuff that I was supposed to be getting. But whatever. Excuse me. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get an encounter here. It's up to you. But, you know, I don't want to put the encounter rate too high because... Oops, accidentally, you know, I accidentally progressed. Whatever. I don't want to put the encounter rate too high because I don't want you getting like too many encounters before you can get to the training. But I also don't want it to be too low where you're doing this. So it's just kind of like real spastic. It's kind of hard to get the sweet spot. It's kind of hard to get that sweet spot that you want. You know, like right now, it's just like, you know, it doesn't want to give me an encounter right now. There we go. Alright. I've been thinking, what game should I be playing next? I still haven't finished Legend of Dragoon, the Japan version. I was thinking that since I didn't do it with commentary too much, that maybe I should start over, but I'm going to start over from scratch anyway, like regardless. So maybe I should just finish it. And also my next, what do I call it? Tutorial. The next on the tutorial is going to be about how to deal damage. And it's going to be about that. You know, I don't know when I'll get to doing it, you know, but that's what that is. So with the items, these are kind of I'm trying to be strategic with them and trying to make it like a puzzle, like when should you use these items, because these enemies are special. They don't apply by the normal game rules, the standards for the game as far as HP, you know, and abilities. They're different. So these items are to accommodate for that. So, can't use this item? Okay, so this item is an automatic use item. So we gotta find out how to defeat him. And they usually have a lot more HP, but they have like a gimmick to them. So we're gonna have to find out what the weakness is, how to get around his abilities. You know, we're gonna have to find out how to win. But right now I want to afflict him. He's the defense specialist, so he's going to have a lot of defense. So we're going to have to find a way around that. I presume poison is a good way to get through his defense. Yeah, he's pretty buff. And relatively quick. And he slowed me down. Alright, so I don't want to use a skill, so let's use a magic. Zero damage on the magic. Ouch. So that's the puzzle. He's super buff defensively. We gotta find a way to penetrate his defense. And we also have to survive his onslaught. So that's the special item that you get for this. And you only get 3 of those, apparently. While I'm poisoned and while I'm slowed, I need to take him out under these conditions. So, find a way to outlast him with defense, basically. I don't want to use the last one. So the poison is going to take him down from within, since I can't really damage him. So we just have to outlast each other. The battles I have in the game aren't usually like this. A lot of people seem to dislike the combat in this game, and their complaints are usually that the game is too slow. The gameplay is too slow. So what they would do to accommodate for that is they would give the characters insane speed levels. And I can see that. I tried doing that a couple of times on a couple of occasions, but I'm trying to like increase the value of each and every turn so that when you get that turn, you know, you don't really see how slow it is because it's such an important move that you have to make each time. So that's the approach that I've decided to take. Hopefully I can critical hit him because he's doing too much damage. Ouch. Maybe I should have healed, because that was my last special item. And he's going to get 3 turns before I get 1. Yikes. The poison. Wait a minute, I think he's damaging himself. Yeah! Oh yeah, that was sick. Woo! Oh man. Come on, give me something sweet. Oh, all that for nothing. Alright, and I got something cool to show off here. This is actually the stage at the beginning. At the very, very beginning. I just spruced it up a bit. I copied it and I pasted it and I added some new areas. I upped the elevation levels of the water. You know, so it's actually the same area. It's just different, with different properties to it. I wonder why it's messing up in activating the reward. I wonder why it's messing up in that department, instead of just giving you the reward as soon as the fight ends. So that's something I'm going to have to look into. Alright, so this island is actually, it has like a tropical vibe to it, and like the skies are like different colors and whatnot, because it's supposed to be image training. And this little decoration I put up here, it's a little nothing. It's not too hard to pull off, but it's like a volcano structure. So let's just make it a different time. Alright, let's make it a different time. Alright, and you can see it's a volcano. It's not that hard to pull off. It can be a bit tricky messing with the landscapes. And you'll see that there's actually multiple volcanoes. You can see one in a distance. You can see the smoke. You see another one right there. There are a couple. I think there's like 4. There's one over there. So here's an idea that I had in mind. You see this. So basically, after a certain time, the volcanoes would rumble like that. So as you're practicing and training, there's going to be a time where it starts to rumble. And my idea is that after a certain amount of time, I'm going to have the volcano actually erupt, although you can't actually animate that. So I'm going to have it be an event that kind of changes how you would practice. So it would turn into a bit of a story scenario of its own, even though it's just a practice area. And you have to like do something in a specific amount of time. I'll have to find a way to make time a factor. And so that's the kind of idea that I have, is that after a certain amount of time in a practice area, that would turn into a story-based event. You know, just trying to link everything, you know, unnecessarily in a unnecessarily creative way, I guess. But just to try to create a bit of spice to it. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of spice. You gotta take your little spice with a bit of a spaghetti bowl, you know? So yeah, I think it's cool. I like messing with the landscapes and environments. A lot of the very creative and very pronounced, for lack of better words, RPG makers out there for this specific game, they would often put such a huge emphasis on their towns. A lot of people in the towns, a lot of buildings, a lot of a lot of dialogue, a lot of story, a lot of, you know, this and that. And it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. Not because it's actually incredible because of the game's limitations, but because of the game's limitations, it is incredible. If you know how much work it takes to put dialogue text in this game, you would know how incredible it is. It is very time consuming. So yeah, it's a lot of people tend to focus on that, and you know, hats off to them. My style is more about focusing on the landscapes, try to create a fun environment, try to make the creativity levels spark just from looking at it. And I feel like that's something you can only really do with the landscapes, because you can't really go in depth with editing the towns or the dungeons. So that's kind of like my claim to fame, I guess. You know, and I'll show off chapter 2 that I had working on. This is just a practice area, so it's not actually the main game. We'll go look at the main game real quick. The main game is Criteria. So this is the main area. You start off here. This is the refuge for your camp. And there's secret areas back here, which are like, you know, you have to do secrets to get in there. It's basically just like a straight shot, like a board game. You go through it, go through this area, then you have like a fork in the road, and then this is your final area right here, where it's like the final boss of the game. And each of these will present you with a different challenge and a different aspect and a different time, and there's different time factors, and you're leveling up your character and choosing how the skill branch you want your character to be on. And you're maybe getting partners, or maybe completing quests, you're maybe uncovering secrets or whatever have you. And then there's like a time, I already mentioned the time factor, where at the start it says that if after a certain time, at nighttime, the enemies will get a boost, so they'll get stronger. So you don't want to be out at nighttime. You can't really change the encounters, so you can only change the events. So I changed the bosses. The bosses get a buff at nighttime, and you get a nerf at nighttime. The nerf is that you take damage over time. You get poisoned if you're outdoors. So there's that. So if you take too long, then you're going to make it a lot harder on yourself. So there's that. That's kind of encouraging you to complete this as fast as you possibly can. And then there's, you know, varying quests that you can take. Not too many, but a decent amount that could splice it up a bit. You know, there's secrets, and yeah, this is the main area. We already looked at it, so let's go to the next area, which is chapter 2. I haven't really worked too much on it yet, but I have spruced up the field. I have ideas in place. So here's the second area of the game. Although it's not finished yet, let's take a look. This area contains a lot more secrets. There's going to be a lot less combat focused and a lot more quests and finding and completing, and there'll still be fights, but it's going to be a lot more focused on your traveling ability. So let's take a look at it real quick. And I think it's got the wrong town setting. It's not supposed to be on this. It's supposed to be on, I forget what it's supposed to be on, but it's not supposed to be on that. I think it was this and this. And let's put it on morning. I think this is it. So yeah, this is the second area. It's a lot more based on discovering secrets, discovering how you can get to certain places, You know, there's going to be a lot of climbing involved, a lot of maneuvering around territory. Although I try not to make it too obnoxious because the movement speed is very sluggish in this game. So I try to make it a bit more, I try to limit the spaces that you can go to increase your player movement by objective reaching, I guess, ratio. So yeah, almost every inch of this is traversable. You just have to find a way how to reach it. So let's say if the first area was battle focused, let's say the first area was Dark Souls like. I know it's not, but let's just say that it's more Dark Souls combat focused, strategizing on how you beat your opponent type. This area would be more Shadow of the Colossus, secrets you could find on an open map type of vibe. So that's the difference I'm going with. You see, there's a place down there and on top of like a roof. You know, you could go away traveling this area in a lot of different ways. I put a lot of effort into, you know, trying to craft something. It's very difficult to craft. In one way, let me just show you the most difficult thing to craft. I'll just go to it real quick. I'm at the end of the video real soon because it's gonna go over an hour, and that makes it a very tough upload. So where am I at? Okay, so this is probably the toughest thing to do, is to create like a swirl type of platform that you could traverse. And I'm in debug mode now, so it'll probably look a lot easier because you could travel on almost anything in debug mode. But basically there's a lot of hitches in the road where you have to find out how to travel across it. And you basically just climb up, and you have to find a way how to get to the top. And you know, this is gonna be part of the gameplay of chapter 2. You know, finding how to get across platforms, finding what platforms you can get across, finding out the secrets that are hidden in the fields. You know, there might be secret spots. You know, so this swirl is kind of very difficult to pull off. I've pulled it off before, and each time it either gets better or worse. This time it's kind of meh, but still gets the same ideal across of what I was trying to accomplish. So you just, you know, it's pretty cool to do something like this, and you can't do this in a town. You know, you can't do this in a town. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope, I have to say. Right, and this is just the west side of the map. There's the east side, there's the north side, there's the south side. Yeah. I have ideas in place for what I want to do with it. Like, I put down all the events I wanted in place, but I haven't actually put anything in the events yet. So we'll go over here. This is the west side, the east side. This is the east side. Alright, so it's a bit different. Got a bit different areas to explore and a bit different secrets to get to. So yeah. I'll be working on this, and I don't know, maybe I'll get back to doing the tutorial. There was one thing I actually been, you know, just in general, I just been thinking about. Like, it's not to do like, right, somebody like downloads your video or whatever, that's whatever. But that got me to thinking about, you know, like, why do people downvote stuff. What are people really doing? Like on stuff that really doesn't have any intention of being like, you know, it's just like just being a chill person. Like, what are people really doing when they like downvote something like on the major content creators, the YouTubers or whatever? And this is only on YouTube that I've noticed. It's like on all their videos there'll be like 1,000 likes or whatever, and then there'll be like 500 dislikes or 130 dislikes or whatever, or 20 dislikes, and the video will be like the most wholesome thing imaginable. It could be like saying like, hey, we had a baby, and this is a name, I'm so excited to be a father, I'm so excited to be a mother, like blah blah blah, it would be like the most wholesome thing ever, and it'll just be like 170 dislikes. I'm like, what are people really doing? Like, what's really going on here? Like, why is that even a thing? So I've always been puzzled by that. Like, what person is really just so angry with this video? Like, what are they so angry at with this video that like, oh, I hated this. I hated this baby. I've always been curious of how that process works. Like if you're in real life and you're just meeting a person and you're seeing that, you don't just like, oh, I hate that news. I hate that. You don't just be like, oh, that's really dumb. If you're like in person, you're just like, oh, that's cool. You're like you're a cool person. You're like, you treat others the way you want to be treated. But then you go to YouTube and it's like, oh, you see all this hate on there. It's like, where is it coming from? And don't even get me started on Yahoo. That is like the worst place. Yeah. But back to the YouTube. I've been always been thinking about this. Like for years I've been thinking about it. Yeah, it's like, man, what is really the purpose here? And then it came to me. What if there's like some sort of secret method here behind the madness? What if the people who are disliking these videos are actually content creators themselves? And what they're doing is they're trying to downvote these popular videos or these other videos who are like contenders or whatever to stop them from growing, and maybe it'll draw more attention to their channel. And I'm like, maybe that's the secret strat right there. Their downvoting videos is increasing their video. I didn't know there was encounters on this map. But yeah, it all makes sense. That's what's going on here. Like, wow, that was like mind-blowing to me. Like, this is actually a possibility of what's happening here. Holy crap. So yeah, like, wouldn't that be something? Like, the reason for all these dislikes, like, they're just unreasonable dislikes, The reason behind it is like there's some content creator behind it that's like, yeah, alright, well, this channel can help me grow. I'm gonna just like it right here, come to Papa. Come to Papa. I got my nips out open. There's sour sauce. And they're just like, that's what's going on. Or maybe they're like people who are like fans of certain creators and they're like, well, I could really use you guys to be paying more attention to my favorite YouTuber. I think that's kind of, that has more validity than meets the eye. Like, maybe that's what's really going on here, because I have a hard time believing that people are just really just hating these wholesome videos. Like, I got a new dog, my dog, or I got a new cat, his name is Fluffy. And they're like, oh, I hate this video. Thumbs down. The worst thing I've watched all day. You could burn in hell. I have a hard time believing that people are actually getting that vibe from watching wholesome stuff like that. And then there's videos like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. They're like, oh, Sonic the Furry, and blah, 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 blah. Sonic is looking like Chucky in a bleaching contest. I could get that, those videos I can get I'm probably right there behind them. I don't never, eh, participate, but I can see the reason behind that. Those are the real dislikes. Those are the real ones. And then you have the ones that are just like, the schemers, the ninjas, creeping in the shadows. Like, yeah, well, this will improve my stock by, 10%. They're the one. They're just strategizing it on their business. So now I'm like, I can see the reason behind it. I can see the reason. I can kind of get behind that a little bit, just a tad bit, just a tidbit. Not completely, but you have me. You have my attention. You have my eyelashes open. That's the only way I can really see it. That's just a little. You know, that's the way I use that. Uh, yeah. Nothing else is really happening lately. Uh, we'll see if there's some more Dragoon news or any news of that sort. There's been some articles saying that, of some, not articles, but people who claim to have leaks saying that Demon Souls is what Bluepoint is actually working on. They're trying to like saying that it's confirmed with these Twitter leaks, how much stock you can put into that, that's up to you. It's up to you. I'm just saying it didn't seem too credible to me. It didn't seem, it was like, I could go on Twitter right now and just say like, hey man, NBA Live 1995, the remake is coming to stores in Bluepoint near you, you know, and maybe that will be, confirmation that that's Bluepoint's next game. Who knows? But the chances are that it's going to be Demon Souls. Chances are, I would believe that. But a leak like that, somebody's saying, hey, it's Demon Souls. It's confirmed. It's on PS5 as a launch title. This is what they're doing. I don't know. It seems a bit sketchy to me. I don't put too much validity into that, and not too many people are picking up on it. So there's that as well. It's a leak. A leak is a leak, but some leaks just kind of seem more valid than others, and this one doesn't seem too valid to me. Although I still believe that the highest possibility is that it's going to be Demon Souls. So there's that. It's not much of a leap of faith that they're taking. There's that. Although it's not confirmed, it could absolutely be something else. Saying that it's the highest possibility is not saying that it's, the absolutely going to happen. It's more like if we were to give it a number, if I were to give it a number, I would say it's like 40% chance likely. And then you have these other games that are like 20% chance, 10%, 15, 10, 5% chance. I think that's kind of what's going on here. Or maybe it's like 35% chance likely it's Demon Souls, and it's blah blah blah. So it's more likely than other games. It's not confirmed whether it's another game or not, or if it's even Demon Souls. We'll find out. I don't like speculating. Unless it's about Dragoon. Then we can speculate all day long, baby. All day long. But I don't like just throwing it out like this is why this is a possibility. This is, I'm just criticizing myself because I'm doing all these things. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like saying that this is a for sure thing. This is a for sure thing that's happening. This is for sure what's happening. Absolutely. This is this and this and this is that. Therefore, this is confirmed. I don't do that. For me, it's more like, hey, this is what's the season that we're in. This is kind of what we're dealing with here. The chances are is this. The chances are is it could be that. This is what the people are thinking. This is what they have said. This is what they have said. Your opinion is up to you to form it. But that's just me. The leaks It's only one leak, to my knowledge. Or there's apparently two. There's a vlog of somebody who said something about souls, but they was just kind of being cryptic about it. So take that however you may. Like I said, the chances are that it's demon souls is likely. And the chances are that it's not. It won't be surprising. So yeah, we'll see. Time comes by as time comes forward. From the big dude himself, he said that. Let me gather my thoughts real quick. Yeah, for Maximilian, he said that with PlayStation 4 timeline, that it matches up with the PS5 timeline, and that they'll probably say some big announcements around February. So there's that as well. So although I've been saying December is around the time that we'll hear something, not about PS5, but about the remake stuff. We'll see. So there's somebody who is well active in the business, or has a hand in the business in some form of way or influence, will know a lot more than any of us. So, just keep your eyes peeled and just keep your head up. And with that, I'm gonna head out. I'm getting tired. My voice is getting tired. I'm running out of breath. I've talked way too long. May peace be with. Always keep your head up. Deuces, dos, bos, adios. Stay cool. If you like my content, be sure to show some love. Show some love to the people that matter to you. And stay cool. Peace.